Good morning Year 4, and this is your literacy video for if you've got this booklet or this booklet on Friday the 29th of January. Now before we get started, I'm going to say two very big well dones to Hayden and Olivia. Fantastic effort guys, keep it up and let's see who I can congratulate on Monday. Now we've started all of our literacy lessons this week by looking at some high frequency words. We've played some different games with them and we practiced spelling them. And today you've got to unscramble them. So you'll notice that I've got all of my letters, but they're in the wrong order. So you've got to try and figure out the correct order. And in case you've forgotten any of those 6 words, I've popped them under the board to help you. So we'll do the first one together. So I can see the letter L, and there's only one of our words this week with the letter L in. So it must be along. So underneath I'm going to write the word along. Okay, so what I want you to do now is to pause the video and see if you can figure out what my other 5 high frequency words are. Okay, so well done for having a go at home. Let's see if you managed to get all of those words correct. So we started with along, then we've got air, then we've got again, and notice Year 4 that even though we aren't in school doing our learning like we normally would, that I'm still doing my very best handwriting. Okay, so now this one, across, about, and finally, after. Well done if you managed to get those words correct at home. Okay, so let's start with this booklet first. So if you've got this booklet, your learning question says, can I infer meaning from pictures? So your activity is a little bit different today because you don't have a lot of writing. We're going to become like Inference Iggy, who we know is a detective, isn't he? He's a detective who loves looking for clues. So we're going to be looking in our pictures for any clues that could help us. And remember our actions for when we are inferring Year 4. So some of us hold our magnifying glass like this as if we're looking for our clues, or others create their telescope to help them to look for clues. I want to see you doing that today with your learning, okay? So, I've got a picture on my board, and you'll notice there are no words on my picture, and we've got to think, what does this picture mean? So, does it mean no diving, no diving, or diving lessons here? So we've got to look carefully and think, does it mean we're not allowed to dive, no diving? Or does it mean that we can learn to dive? Now when I look at this picture, the first thing I see is this big red circle with the line going through it, and that makes me feel like it's something we can't do. So I think this picture is telling us no diving. And think about where we might have seen that picture before. What do we have on our playground? Okay, where we might have seen the sign for no diving. We've got our swimming pool, haven't we? Well done if you remembered that. Okay, so this one then does have a little bit of writing on. It says bake, sail, bake, sail. And it's got a picture of a delicious looking cupcake as well. So does this picture mean no baking allowed? Or does it mean cakes for sale? Now I can see a word in the sentence that's also in the picture, and it's the word sale. So I think this picture means cakes for sale. So I'm going to tick that sentence. Now let's have a little look at your activity for today then, Year 4. You're going to be turning to page 16. Okay, let's put it under the visualiser to have a little look. So it says, read the sign. Look at the pictures and read the sentences. Tick the sentence which matches each picture. So just like I had on my board, you've got a picture and then you've got two sentences and you've got to read them and put a big tick in the one that matches the picture. And you've got 3 of those to have a go at in your activity booklet today. But you know I like to set you an extra challenge. So your challenge, Year 4, is to write a description of the missing cat. Because if we have a look in today's learning, one of your pictures is about a cat that's gone missing. So we're going to write a description of that cat so that hopefully it will be found. So when we're describing, we need to use lots of adjectives, and they're describing words, aren't they? So let's think about what parts of this cat could we describe. I can see that he's got bright green eyes, so I'm going to write that on my board to help you. Bright green eyes, and they're just there, aren't they? It's got lovely bright green eyes, and I can also see some really long whiskers. So long white whiskers. Okay, but they aren't full sentences, Year 4, so we'll need them to go into full sentences. The missing cat has bright green eyes. He also has long white whiskers. And because I'm using 2 adjectives in each sentence, we've got to put a comma in between them, okay? But we've done them lots in school. Remember when we used our jelly beans to help us? Okay, so don't forget that comma in between your 2 adjectives. Okay, so let's move on to the next booklet then. So if you've got this booklet today, your learning is a little bit different than it has been. Because you'll notice that today's learning goes over 2 pages, but we'll be fantastic at it, so please don't worry. So your text today is all about our solar system. And the solar system is made up of 8 planets. Okay, so we've got Mercury, Venus, Earth, that's the planet that we live on, isn't it? Think about our geography learning. Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. Okay, so we've got 8 planets that we're going to be reading about today. But to help you with that year 4, because it's quite a tricky text, I've picked out some of these key words that I think we might find a little bit difficult. Okay, so we've got the first word, closest. And closest means nearest to you. So if I get my picture so we can see, here we can see that the girl with the red hair is closest to the front because she's in front of the other children, isn't she? So she's the closest, okay? The next word I've chosen to talk about is human beings. And human beings are us, they're people. Okay, so here's my picture for human beings. Lots of different people on there. Got gas. And if you've been doing your Oak Academy learning in science, we've been learning about the different states of matter. Okay, so we've got a solid, where our particles are all really, really close together and can't move. We've got a liquid, where our particles can move a little bit. And then we've got a gas, where our particles will spread out as far as they can. And then our final word, year 4, is furthest. And furthest means far away. And you'll notice on my picture that this little girl is the furthest away. Okay, and furthest is the opposite of closest. So closest is the nearest to us, furthest is the furthest away. Okay, so let's have a little look at our text today, year 4. Okay, so there it is then, our text, and we do have quite a bit to read. So I'll read the sentences right at the start, and then you're going to read the sentence about each of the 8 planets. So there are 8 planets in our solar system. They all orbit the sun, and orbit means go around. Okay? The planets are written in their order from the sun. So we're starting closest to the sun, the planet that's the closest, and then getting further and further away. Okay, so what I want you to do now is to read those questions. You might want to pause the video now. Okay. So once you've read it then, your year 4, your learning question today is asking you to answer retrieval questions. So to do that, we're going to become Rex Retriever. And we know that Rex Retriever loves finding answers in a text. And remember, he goes into that text and he pulls out those answers. And that's exactly the skill we need for today's learning. Okay, so we're going to go into that text and pull out the answer. So question number 1 is asking you, okay, so it's asking you to write the number 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 next to each planet to put them in the correct order. So you're going to look at the text and you're going to think which one is the closest to the sun and put a number 1 in that box. Then what comes next? A number 2 in that box, all the way up till you get to the number 5. Okay? Question number 2, is Venus hotter or colder than Mars? So now we're going to read the sentences about Venus and Mars to see which one is hotter. Remember, we're becoming Rex Retrievers and looking for the answers in the text. So here's my sentence about Venus. Venus is the hottest planet. Then my sentence about Mars. Mars is also known as the red planet. It has 2 moons. Now, which of those planets is talking about the temperature or how hot it is? And whichever one of those planets it is, you're going to write that down on the line for question number 2. Question number 3, which planet do we live on? Now, we should know that one already from our geography lessons, and I'm pretty sure I've already told you in our video. But let's have a look to see if we can find the one that we live on. And remember, another word for us is human beings, isn't it? So I'm going to see if I can find the planet that talks about human beings. Okay, and I think I found it. I've skimmed that text looking for my key word. So I'm going to copy that planet's name onto the line for question number 3. Number 4 then. So the red planet is another name for which planet? So skim through those, look for the keyword red planet. Which planet is it? Question number 5. Why is giant a good word to describe Jupiter? So let's think about what giant means. Okay, does it mean small or does it mean really big? Have a think, and then let's read the description of giant and Jupiter. So let's find Jupiter. Okay, so Jupiter is the biggest planet. It is a gas giant. So why have we described Jupiter as a giant? Think about those other words that are used to describe it. And then finally, year 4, question number 6. What are Saturn's rings made of? So find Saturn in your text and it will tell you what those rings are made out of. We're going into that text and pulling out the answers. Okay, so your writing challenge then, year 4, once you've done that, is to imagine you're an astronaut and you're going to tell me about your trip to space. And I've written here, don't forget to choose a planet to land on. So use the information you've just read here, pick one of the 8 planets, and which one would you like to land on, and tell me what it would be like. What would you be able to smell or see or feel or taste or hear? Okay, now to pause the video whilst you do your writing. Now once you've answered all of your questions and you've done your writing challenge, we're going to have a little think about our learning from today. So we're going to roll our dice and talk about the question. So let's give it a roll. What number are we going to land on? Number 6. And number 6 says, what helped you with your learning today? So was it watching my video? Did that help you? Was it whoever is at home with you? Or did you not need any help? Was it just your booklet that helped you? Don't forget to take a picture and send it to the Year 4 email address.